Hi, I'm Carla Schaefer, Auntie's Beads designer, and I'm going to demonstrate how to use beading chain in the crimp ends. I'm going to be using a sterling silver beading chain, and what's so nice about this is that you can string crystals directly onto the chain, no head pins or anything like that needed. And then we're also going to be using these little end caps that are specially designed for the beading chain, and you just crimp them on the end. And I'm also going to be using a split ring to apply my clasp and to use as a loop for the clasp to clasp into. And I'm going to be using some Swarovski crystals. I'm going to be using a 22mm teardrop, and I'm also going to be using the Simplicity beads, and I'm using a 4.5 and a 5.5, and I'm going to be using Cyan in the 4.5 and Jet in the 5.5. The tools that will be needed for this project are a pair of nipper tools, tweezer for the split rings, and chain nose pliers. The first thing that I'm going to do is cut the beading chain to length, and I have measured mine out to be 17 inches. So I'm just going to take the nipper tool and snip that off. And of course, you can use any length that you want. If you want it shorter or longer, you need to remember that the clasp and the crimp ends are going to add, and the split rings are going to add a little bit of length. But I went ahead and cut mine to 17 inches, knowing that it's probably going to end up about 18 inches. And the first thing I'm going to do is just string on the crystal. And as I said, the beading chain goes right through crystals. It actually goes through as small as a 4mm bicone. And then as I'm working with just two different sizes of the Simplicity bead, I'm just going to do a very simple pattern. And of course you can do this with multitudes of beads. Doesn't have to be just Swarovski, it can be all kinds. And I'm just going to do a little repeat pattern and show you how to crimp the ends. These are great. I've used this beading chain a lot for weddings and wedding parties. So I've just strung just a few beads on there, and then I'm going to show you how to crimp the end. So what you do is you take the chain, and the crimp end has a small channel in the middle that will crimp, and so you just slip the chain inside the crimp finding, and then you can use chain nose pliers. I'm using a bent nose pliers. You can also use a fine round nose plier, but you're just going to crimp that middle section. I'm going to make sure that stays in there. And give it a good mash until the chain catches, which it is. And then you would just repeat your pattern on the other side of the crystal, or the other side of the teardrop. These also can be used to make earrings. We've looped them to make earrings. And then of course you add the crimp end finding on either end, and then just apply that to a jump ring and then to an earring finding. And we will list some other options online for you to see what we've done with the crimp, with the beading chain and the crimp ends. Okay, again, what you do with the chain is you insert it into the crimp end cap. Take your chain nose pliers and just mash it. That middle part, you may have to hit it a couple of times just to make sure that you get it. The next thing I'm going to do is apply the jump ring. And again, some people like split ring pliers. I actually prefer the tweezers. And so I'm just going to open up the split ring with the tweezers by slipping it in there. Then I'm going to slip it onto the loop. And for the other end, I'm going to do the same thing, but this time I'm also going to apply my trigger clasp. This chain does come in gold fill, and it does have a gold fill end cap as well. This one's sterling silver. And since I've got that split ring open, I'm going to go ahead and add the trigger clasp before I pull it all the way through. be able to clasp it into the other jump ring on the other end. And we have completed our beading chain necklace. Okay, since I mentioned earrings, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do earrings with some of the leftover chain. And all I'm going to do is going to take a 2x2 crimp tube, and I'm going to place it on the end of this chain. I cut my chain 2 inches. Of course, you could do it longer or shorter. And I'm just going to slip that on the very end. I'm going to take my chain nose pliers. I'm going to bring it up to almost the very end, and I'm going to smash it. And then with the crystals that I have laying here left over from the project, I'm just going to string these on the chain. And then I'm going to take another crimp end finding, slip it over the end of the chain, and again I'm just going to mash that middle channel until I have it hanging like this. And then I'm just going to take the earring finding and open up the loop. We're going to slip it onto the earring finding and close it. And now we have earrings that will match our necklace. Hi, I'm Carla Schaefer, AT Speeds designer, and I'd like to invite you to check out the Learning Center on our website for design ideas and jewelry making projects and other Carla Cam videos.